guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and staying safe. I'm back with another review, and this time I'm reviewing something that's just fresh off the market, never been done before, and it's just launched by The Ordinary, and it is the High Coverage Concealer. I have to get my hands on this. I'm really excited about this. I'm looking forward to seeing what this brings. It's making a lot of claims and it's probably their first launch, I think. I don't think they've ever done a concealer before, and if you guys know by now, you guys know how much I love a full coverage concealer to hide my dark circles. So these are the claims that it's making. So it's high coverage, it gives you a natural skin-like finish. It resists getting into your fine lines, and it has high spreadability formula, so a little goes a long way with this, and that's what I'm going to be putting to the test. I am going to try it with using my hands and then also with a makeup tool, so I'm definitely putting it through its paces and I'm going to properly try it out. So a few of the facts about this: it's vegan, it's cruelty free, it's fragrance free, and also oil free as well. So it's an absolute bonus for people that have very sensitive skin like myself, so it's suitable for all those skin types as well. I'm going to open it just to see how well it looks, and I'm going to open it. So that's what it looks like in terms of the packaging. I got the shades 1.2Y, which is a light with yellow undertones, 1.2YG, which is light with yellow undertones with gold highlights, and then I also got 1.2N, which is light with neutral undertones. So those are the three shades I got, and these are the swatches for that. It has 36 shades in total, ranging from very fair to very deep, so it has quite a few ranges in terms of colour. It's retailed at £4.90, which is super affordable, and it comes, and I think the amount is 8 millilitres, which for the amount it's so affordable. So if you want to see how this turns out, then keep on. Skin, I've put on some moisturiser and some foundation, a very light coverage of foundation, and then I've just done my brows as well, just to save time, and then I'm just going to go straight in as I would normally do, with a concealer first, and then I would go with my contour as well. So I'm actually going to choose, I think I'm going to go with 1.2Y and a bit of 1.2YG. I feel like these colours will sit okay, fingers crossed. For a concealer, I would normally just put a concealer underneath my eyes, and then I'd go in with, I think I need another shade darker, a lot darker, that would match my skin tone, just to counteract any blemishes, because I feel like these concealers would be too bright and it just wouldn't work. So yeah, let's give it a try. Just take a little bit on the back of my hand. Also, I realised that the lid has the shade, and if you lose the lid and you've got more than one concealer, you might not realise which concealer belongs to which lid. I think that's just a packaging error more than anything, but yeah, I made that mistake, and then I didn't realise which concealer belonged to which, so yeah, eventually I found out. But so yeah, so I'm going to use, and then I'm going to mix it with a little bit of 1.2 YG. I mean, the coverage is really nice. As you can saw, that the coverage is actually really good. Like it's quite a creamy consistency. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit underneath my eyes. You can see like the transfer of colour now. Don't get me wrong, this looks really bright, but give it a minute, the colour will change a little bit. It does seem to oxidise a little bit. I feel like it's diffused. It's definitely, when I applied it on straight away, it's quite an opaque colour, but I feel like I could just, it definitely has the spreadability formula. I mean, a little is going a long way. I've got a little bit of a mark there, and I'm trying to cover that up, and it covers it up, but as I go into it, the more I press into it, the more it's getting lighter. But it does feel really thin applying it straight away. A little has gone a long way, but I feel like the more I'm pressing into it, the more lighter it's getting. Like usually with full coverage I need the tiniest amount, especially if I'm using fingers. It stays there, so, and it dries quite quickly, whereas this isn't drying as quick as I was expecting it, which is a good sign. YG, 1.2 YG, I'm going to go in a little bit of that, and I'm just going to press that and see whether it dries up, and then usually I leave it for a while, like something that's just a bit more sheer to get a bit more full coverage. I let it sit there for a while. Okay, I'm back. I've let it sit on my skin for about 3 minutes now, and I've let it, and it still looks a little bit wet, as you can see. Like, it's not dried up as fast as usually a high coverage concealer does. So I'm actually just gonna go in with it now and see how well the coverage is after I've let it dry for a few minutes. And yeah, that's much better. I mean, I feel like because it's such a creamy formula, to let it dry for a few minutes, I feel like I'm getting my fingerprint imprinted on. I feel like the product was being moved a lot, so I think you've got to let this one dry. Yep, I'm going to let that sit in there for a bit, and I'm going to move on to this side now. I'm going to use a Real Technique buffing brush. It's quite a dense brush, so this will be good for coverage, and I'm just going to go straight in with using the brush application. Yeah, so this one does feel the coverage is a lot better. You can see like it's a lot brighter when you apply it on. So you can see the difference in terms of my top half and the bottom half. But I feel like the application is a little bit better with a brush than my finger. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with another layer using 1.2G. I'm going to use the makeup sponge this time around. So I'm just going to take a little tiny amount again, as you can see, and with 1.2G. So I'm going to use a velvet sponge. You guys know how much I love my velvet sponge. If you watch my previous video, I compared it with the Beauty Blender. So yeah, be sure to check that out. I'll link it up here somewhere. So I'm going to use that, and I'm just basically going to take that and I'm just going to press that and see how well it works with a makeup sponge. I feel like it's really, really bright underneath my eyes. I used the tiniest amount and that's gone a lot better. Yeah, I think I prefer it with a makeup sponge than a brush. Yeah, I much prefer it with a makeup sponge. I really do. I feel like it doesn't move the product as much with a makeup sponge. Yeah. So that's the difference between the two. I feel like it's not gathered so much underneath my eyes as much as I thought it would have done, because with a full coverage it really gathers a lot underneath you and I have to set it quite quickly, otherwise it just stays there. So I'm going to set this with a very light finely milled powder because of the way the formula is, and see how well it lasts throughout the day, and just finish up my makeup. Okay, so I've set both of my eyes with a translucent powder. Now I'm just going to finish up my makeup and then I'll be right back with my final thoughts on this. Okay guys, I'm back. I've just finished up my makeup. It's a very light, dewy, everyday makeup. I'm going to be going out for a walk and then also just do some errands throughout the house. So I'm going to wear it on for a few hours. I'm going to reserve judgment until the end of the day and see how well it lasts. I'll see you soon. Okay guys, I'm back. It's been about a few hours. I've done some errands throughout the house and I'm definitely getting a lot more shiny. I think I need to be like powder up a little bit more. I'm looking a little bit more shiny. The colour, the brightness is still there. It doesn't feel like it's heavy at all or dry. It definitely doesn't feel dry underneath my eyes. The consistency feels like at the moment I can't even tell I've got concealer under my eyes. Like usually with a full coverage concealer, it feels, you feel it on your skin, you really feel it, and it definitely feels like my skin can breathe at the moment. I feel like it's more of a buildable coverage, and I think that's what makes it more of a natural finish, because it's not too full coverage straight away. And I did let it dry, as you saw, for a few minutes just to give that extra coverage. The only downside I found it was that it moved a little too much to my liking. It's creasing a little bit around here. So that's definitely a no-no for me. In terms of resisting getting into the fine lines, I think we saw that it definitely didn't do that. It got straight into my fine lines and sat there, and that's one thing that was probably a downside to it. I do have quite definitive fine lines underneath my eyes, and that's just due to age. But if you're a lot younger, I feel like it would be a lot better, so more suitable for them. But in terms of the natural finish and the spreadability formula, it's definitely a thumbs up there. The price point kind of balances it out a little, definitely does go a long way, but if you want a high coverage, you definitely need to apply more product. So yeah, overall it's a really good concealer for the first ever launch that they've ever done. For ordinary, if you ever tried the foundation, it's either a love-hate relationship. I love this serum foundation. Sometimes a little bit difficult to find the right shade for you, so you can have a little bit of play about, but for the price point you can afford to get a collection and just have a play about. So I'm actually going to buy some more just to see how well it covers blemishes, especially pigmentation and dark spots and areas, and spot conceal. I'm going to try that next time and see how well it moves. I did find it when I was doing it around my nose that it separated a little bit, so I want to see how well it does if I put it on before my foundation, and how well it would work in terms of putting on products on top. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification for any new videos that I'll be uploading. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care for now. Bye.